Now you can hear me. I can't believe I was just doing that. See, this is what happens. All right, welcome to the podcast. You know the name. I'm not going to say it. What the fuck? This is what happens, man. When you think you got it and you just kind of cruise in and you don't do the prep. And I rolled in and I was like, I got this. And now I do. Now you can hear me. Welcome to the podcast. You know the name. I'm not going to say it. Streaming live right now over everything. Yeah, Big Head Todd. I never listened to him. Nah. You can see, I said while this mic was muted, I said I almost didn't do this show tonight. I almost didn't do it. See, that's why I need another blast of my Turbo Ice coffee. Hold on. I don't even know what I said, what you heard, what you didn't heard, but I'm going to the Philippines for 2 weeks next week. I'll probably do a show Thursday night. Long flight home. Long flight there, but 23 hours. And then, staying there for a couple weeks and then coming back. So we'll see. But you know how this goes. I'm going to pull up some articles, and that probably won't work. And I saw headlines. I save them, and yes, I can. Patty. Welcome, Patty. Patty, number one fan of the show. I don't care what Big Head Todd says. So let's see how this is. Let me turn this down. Let me get rid of that. I like that remix. That's a nice remix of Radiohead's Everything in Its Right Place. Whereas tonight, everything was not in its right place. Again, studio being redone. You can see the new floor. This is why I almost didn't do this. It was chaotic putting everything back together. It just threw me off my game. Usually when the studio is set, you come in, everything's ready. You just, boom, you just go. I had to put everything back together, and I had to, because to put down a new floor, you got to move shit. You got to take shit apart. And again, that flag behind me is going to be up on the wall, replacing the dartboard. Goodbye, dartboard. That'll go to another location. It's doing some changes. Brightens up the place. As you can see, I get a little ceiling thing going on right there. That's the attic above. This is my studio, and there's a storage above there. And, well, I'm going to have that painted. Yada, yada, yada. Things you don't have to be concerned with. So let's get right to it. Let's see what we got. Let's pull this up. All right. 12 songs from the 80s that have aged really bad. I don't know if I'll have any problems with these. I don't know. There's a lot of songs from the 80s that did not age well. Let me see. Big Head Todd says, I'm your only fan of the show. The floor is as shiny as your head. Blah, blah, blah. Doreen Gillis. Hi, Doreen. That's an old friend of mine. She's always been a wonderful person. We were always friends. Always. Yeah, she's a good person. Welcome to the podcast now. Let's see. What do we got? 12 songs from the 80s that have aged really bad. This ought to be interesting, if anything. So it says, the 80s, a decade known for its catchy tunes, very large shoulder pads, and poorly aged lyrics. It's one thing to put on your leg warmers and play music from that decade while you aerobicize. But have you read the lyrics to some of these songs? So I went through this last week also. Lyrics to songs, you just can't fucking bank on them. Most songs are gibberish. Most songs are absolute gibberish. And they get away with it. We love it. Doesn't really matter. Just like any other decade, the 1980s produced its share of questionable content. And now that it's 40 years behind us, much of that content has only become more objectionable. Here we go. Here we go. I knew there was a fucking underlying bad tone to this. Who's this? Who's the writer? Daniel Buckspan. There we go. Daniel. Here's our list of songs. Daniel, is it our list, Daniel? Or is it your list? Own it, will you? Here's our list of songs from the 1980s that only seem like innocent fun if you ignore the lyrics. Some of these people, they take the lyrics like literally. This fucking generation. Here we go. This dude was probably born in like 2002. Here the vape is turning Japanese. Okay, we always had our thing about that, right? We always had a thing about what does turning Japanese mean? Some say it was when somebody takes care of themselves. Let's put it that way. Someone that takes care of themselves and, you know. So Turning Japanese, when Turning Japanese came out in 1980, wow, some people found it offensive because they believed the song was about touching one's private area. Why is that offensive? Well, 1980, all right, I get it. They were wrong. It's offensive for its depictions of Asian culture. You fucking beta male piece of shit. You fucking beta male piece of shit. Oh, right off the bat, right down to the use of fake Asian musical motifs that date back to the 30s Charlie Chan movies. And Charlie Chan was supposed to be Chinese, not Japanese. Shut the fuck up, Daniel. What's his name? Daniel Buckspan. How about Daniel Cuckold? Fucking cuck. I'm sorry for swearing so much, but it's racial appropriation or whatever they fucking call that shit. Yeah, this is just, this might not have been a good article. Well, it got me fired up. My low energy just went high. Here we go. 17 by Winger. Well, this one was always questionable. I actually like this song, though. I do like the song. This was a big video when me and Big Head Todd were stationed together in the Philippines. This was there was in every bar. Let's see. So I'm gonna play. It's got a great riff and you can dance to it. Let me see. 17 Winger. Here we go. It's a good opening. I mean, some good guitars. Good beat. It is kind of a jam, right? Yeah. And so let me see. For some reason, male rock musicians over the last 60 plus years have uniformly decided to write songs about underage girls. I can't really argue with Daniel Cuckold. Here we go. Right? I'm only 17. I'll show you love like you've never seen. Boy. That's all you need to hear. Some say she's too young, but she's old enough for me. Well, so what if you're 19 and she's 17, right? What? Just say it. What if you all hang out together? You're 19, she's 17. I don't know, right? That's whatever. But when you're in your like 20s, you're looking at somebody at 17. Can you wait? Do you think you can wait? Can you wait 6 months? They always go up underground. Anyway, let me see. The biggest hit song, 1988's 17, which features I froze. All right. Which features the couplet, She's only 17. Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me. Okay. All right. In 2008, Kip Winger said that when he wrote the song, he didn't know that 17 was underage. Okay, buddy. All right. Yeah, you didn't know. Didn't know that 17 was underage. Well, it's 1 year less than 18. So, well, you know. Well, and also depends on what state you're in. We can go with that one. Here we go. Daniel Cuckold's going to have a lot to say about this one. Dude Looks Like a Lady by Aerosmith, 1987. The Aerosmith song Dude Looks Like a Lady had its genesis when singer Steven Tyler came up from behind an attractive blonde woman at a nightclub to possibly parlay it into a romantic encounter. Who fucking talks like that? Parlay it into a romantic encounter. Instead of saying he came up behind an attractive blonde at a nightclub trying to hook up. No, they parlay it into a romantic encounter. Beta boy. Only to find out that it was actually Motley Crue singer Vince Neil. Desmond Child, who wrote the song with the band, said that the lyrics are accepting of the trans community. It's accepting of the trans community. Thanks to the line, never judge a book by its cover, or who you're going to love by your lover. However, in this age of greater acceptance and empathy for the trans community, a lot of people will never get past the title of the song. Ay, ay, ay. All right, so I'm going to tell you this. So me and Big Head Todd were stationed in the Philippines for 2 years together. There was a whole bunch of us that were there. There was always a whole bunch of people. It was a big base. And they had these ladies that were called Billy Boys. Billy Boys, right? Now, Billy Boys are the equivalent to what they call, like in Thailand, lady boys. And they were called Billy Boys. And they were men who were, whatever you call them, cross-dressing, or they were trans. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, I ain't going to lie. Not going to lie. Here we go. Jesus Christ. A lot of those Billy Boys were better looking than the American women that were there. I said it. I said it. They were. And I got guys that will back that up. Now, I'm not saying I ever went with one because I didn't. I didn't. I could tell you kind of bad stories that you hear when one of the Billy Boys would say deceive or not really tell an American guy, a GI, that they have man parts, and when they find out, it usually didn't turn out good for her. And those are bad stories. You know, but it happened. It happens, unfortunately. But I will say, again, they were better looking than a lot of the American women that went there. So God bless the Billy Boys. There you go. Let's move on from this. Jesus Christ. See, it's because I drank too much turbo iced coffee too fast. Let me see how this is going down. What's going on here? Hold on. There we go. Okay. Next one, We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel, 1989. Lyrics don't have to be inappropriate to be offensive. Oh, my God. Sometimes they can offend due to repetition, self-righteous preachiness, like you, Daniel Cuckold, and a stubborn refusal to take responsibility for the failures of one's own generation. With every week, these fucking articles just get that much worse. Oh, Lord. Where did I stop? This is the fate that befell. It befell. This is the fate that befell the deeply annoying Billy Joel's, deeply annoying, not just annoying, not kind of annoying, not very annoying. It's deeply annoying. Billy Joel song, and I am not a Billy Joel fan, by the way. We Didn't Start the Fire, which is pretty much a list of grievances filed on behalf